Hello, welcome to episode 167 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is how to scale your business effectively. Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lin Trin. Now, when I started out as a trainer, I used to take guys on one-to-one and we'd have a 45-minute session. And inside of the gym, I remember, it'd usually take us about half an hour. If I had a new client, I'd go through the squatting technique and I'd be having a look at his assessments, as all good trainers do. And I would be putting a bar on his back. I'd be loading up his back and I'd be having a look at, the amount of lordosis inside of his hip and pelvic movement. I'd be having a look at his ability to get his ankle and knee flexion and all of that good jazz, right? And all was well and good. And that's what I did for years. And it was absolutely amazing. Sometimes when you train with clients, it is absolutely the best feeling inside of the world. And I do miss that at times. I do miss the whole standing there and telling people what to do. But more importantly, I miss it when they hit a nice breakthrough and they get results. Now, when I started inside of the online training space, it was completely different because I was trying to take that same business model, that one-to-one, that 45-minute consultative kind of business model, and bring it online. And what that looks like is, it looks like Skype calls. It looks like me writing out their diet program. It looks like them sending me videos. And it looks like a lot of, messaging back and forth. That's how it looked like to me when I first started out. And the problem came when I realized that I actually didn't enjoy that. I didn't enjoy that way of coaching. I didn't enjoy it because I was sitting behind a computer all day. I was typing, I was emailing, I was sending them messages, and I just felt like a virtual assistant to them, right? I was literally a virtual assistant. I was like, hey, you should be doing this. And it was great. But the biggest thing that I got out of one-to-one coaching face-to-face was the ability to talk to them, tell stories, the ability to see them sweat, to break through, to push them past their limits. Now, when I was coaching online, I had lost all of that. I wasn't able to see them sweat. I wasn't able to coach them, push them past. There was no emotional high five and handshake with a pat on the back. There was none of that. And so what I soon started to realize was I was like, well, I don't enjoy my online coaching. This sucks. Like, it really, really sucks. And if you're running your business this way, it sucks because you're probably not enjoying it too. Okay, you're not enjoying being that supportive, that virtual assistant that really just adjusts their micros and macros and is really there. You're really there just to be their assistant. And for me, I couldn't scale this business as well. Not only was I not enjoying it, but the money was horrible. Jumping in, you'd work with 30, 40 clients and, you'd be helping them and assisting them, and the crappy part was half of them would fall off. Half of them would lose motivation. Half of them wouldn't follow what you do. You'd check in on them and they'd be like, well, sorry, I just couldn't go to the gym today. I was too busy. You and I both know that if the things that we truly want, we'll make time for, right? Like, if you truly wanted to grow your business, you'll make time for that. If you truly wanted to bodybuild, be on stage, you'd make time for that. And so these guys, what started to happen was that they lost motivation. And in terms of them losing motivation, I felt like they had not achieved the results, nor was my business turning over any revenue as a result of me losing them. And that spiraled into a pretty crappy business. And this business model I talk about right now is the same business model that a lot of online coaches, a lot of trainers run. It's the only business model they know, because it's natural for you to go out in being in the gym right now to then stepping in to an online coach. You do what you did offline and you do it online. And if you take that method and just take that approach, it's not going to work well for you. And so what I started to realize and what I needed to do was I needed to build an effective model where I had the kind of systems fulfilled and I could coach them. I could specifically coach them in a different way. So if I could look after and educate them and give them all the knowledge they need to know in a step-by-step format. And so what I did was I took out all of my knowledge and put it inside of a course. Now, I built out a membership site back in 2014. Cost me thousands of dollars. I had no idea what I was doing, and I was too cheap to get somebody else to do it for me. Because when you're starting out, you want to bootstrap all of this shit. You don't want to invest any money, right? Because you have no money. And that's cool. But I just wasted time. Like, if you're not willing to pay money, then you lose so much more time. So what I then started to realize, by taking out all of my information, putting it into a course, creating an environment full of guys that were following the same system, I could then cultivate an environment and create guys who were thinking like me. Now, that's the first step. This didn't go all perfectly planned. And it didn't all go to plan. Because then as soon as I did that, new problems arose. And so as we created this course, we had to create systems around how to get people to follow through. We had to create rules on how to get people to follow through. When I brought in VAs, it was like, okay, cool, we're signing people up into this system, into this online course. We're teaching them how to get results. They're following. But how do I actually get them to follow through? Because then, as soon as I made that transition, I realized that information doesn't get people results. People having the information doesn't get them results. And if you're truly out there to grow your business, I've spoken about this a lot, then you need to get people results if you're going to grow your business. Otherwise, it's the same thing. If you do that one-to-one model and they don't listen to you and they drop off, they're not going to get results because you're giving them information. Okay? Now, when I built out this course, it allowed me to take myself from being inside of the business, trading my 45 minutes, to actually stepping out and going, okay, well, there's the course. You're paying for the course. Go in and you're going to get support from our community. That was the first step to freedom and scale. Was that it? Did suddenly we build $1 million business through that channel? Absolutely not. So through progress, through taking action, I realized that the next thing was, okay, now that they've got this course, but they're still not fucking taking action. They're still not taking action. They've got men in there, some men are still dropping out. How do I reduce? So my key focus and my key question was, how do I reduce the churn rate, the people that are dropping off, and increase the results? That's always been my number one focus when I've started a business, because I truly believe that if you have that intent in mind, you will grow and you'll scale. So how did I actually go and build out this flagship course, take my 16-week transformation, 0 to hero, put it into steps and modules, get these guys to follow it? It'd been about a good 6 months in the making. And what I realized was that my messaging was off. And I was attracting the wrong people. Because then I learned that no matter what you can do, if you are supporting people, if you are giving them information, if you are shoving information down their throat, and they just don't want it, So here I was getting so good at marketing sales calls and selling every single person that came through the door, going, hey, do you want this? Yeah, you're ready. Let's do it. Okay, done. Again, let's do it. Done. Because I'd gone to a sales workshop and he or she, I'm not going to mention the names, had taught me how to shove things down people's throat. You know, you use pre-framing questions, trap them in a corner and sell them, right? And so this was the next problem I saw, because it was like, well, making sales, people were still dropping off, which led to me feeling like I had a deep black bore inside of my gut every time I got into the phone, selling people, taking their money, and not knowing deep inside myself that they were actually going to get results. So this was one of the big things that happened. And I want to tell you why, because these are the experiences that not only have I gone along this path and start to realize and figure it out, but this is what you're going to go through as you go on this journey to start figuring it out. So if they weren't getting results because they didn't want the results, well, then it became a simple matter of getting my marketing message correct so that I attracted the right people with the right mindset. Because I knew that if I could bring on all these men who had the right mindset to achieve results, that would be the breaking point. That would be the point of elevation. That would be the point of exponential growth. Because here's the thing, you can't grow if you have water or fuel coming out of your car the other end. Okay? You can't grow No matter how much fuel you pour in, you move a little bit, you stop again, you have to go back to the gas station. Move a little bit, stop, and go back to the gas station. So in the midst of all of this, I was trying to figure out exactly what I needed to do to get these guys results, because we were telling them that they'd get amazing results. They come in, they drop off. Once again, information doesn't do anything. So here I am starting from this one-to-one coach inside of the gym, talking about lordosis and squatting and knee flexion, ankle flexion, all of that jazz. Then I move into the online space, realizing that there is no fulfillment being that supporter. Then I realized that, holy crap, I can take myself out, leverage myself by taking everything out of my brain, putting it inside an online transformation course called Zero to Hero to help these guys. So then now I've got the ability to scale, and then all I need to do is market and sell all day. And then I do that only to get guys not getting results. So this was the next step. And here's the thing, guys. Once you realize that as you grow inside of your business, as you grow, there will be more problems that come up and you just get better at problem solving. And so along this path, I need to realize, okay, right, we're here. We're getting people in. How do we get people results? I need to attract the right people. How do I attract the right people? And I realized something that I'd never done. I'd realized that attracting the right people required me to market from a different place, required me to share a different story, to share different knowledge, to share different message through my marketing inside of my videos, inside of my messaging, inside of my emails, inside of my Facebook groups, whatever it was. I was sharing the same old crap that everyone else was. Here's fat loss. This is what you do for subs. This is what you do for nutrition, yada, yada, and off you go. And whilst that's fantastic, right, that's going to attract me a whole bunch of everybody's. But the problem is, I knew that if I attracted everybody's, I wouldn't get nobody results. I needed a specific guy who was in so much pain that he was willing to change his identity, make the habitual changes, because most of the time, in fact, all of the time, it's your mind, your environment, and your habits that are going to stop you from succeeding. And so as soon as we made this shift, as soon as I started getting congruent with my message and started to talk about the right things, this is where this shifted, attracted the right people and created a community of men who were not only there for fat loss, but they were there to upgrade every aspect of their life. And so this probably episode 167 is the most important episode that you're ever going to listen to, because it really talks about the things that nobody else talks about, because I don't believe nobody has been where I've been. And I don't say that with arrogance. I just say that I've just built so much resilience to step up, take action, and it's been a 3-year journey to get to where I am here today. So with that in mind, I want you to think about, where are you along the line? Like if you were me, whereabouts are you? Are you a trainer jumping to the online space, coaching clients one-to-one? Okay, cool. Or the next step of the things is to start leveraging yourself to scale. Cool. But then if you scale and you don't get people results, well, you're like a car with a hole in the fuel tank. Whenever you pour fuel in it, it's going to leak. That's not cool. So how do you increase that leak? And it's the hardest. How do you stop that leak? It's the hardest part. And it's getting your message right. If you get your message right, the game will change. So my question for you today, as I end this quite a long podcast today, is how are you going to turn around? How do you get your messaging right so that you change the game? And once you answer that question, what I want you to do, send me a message. Send me a message. Find me. Facebook.com/Coach Lynn. That's my fan page. Send me a message and let me know what you got from this podcast and how you're going to change your messaging so that you start attracting the right people. Have a fantastic day. And as per usual, I will see you tomorrow.
Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes, and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks, and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients, and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.